Hey gang, it's JC and this is the Daily Dose for Monday, July 18th, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Great television archives top of the page. We have our eye candy feature along the bottom of the page, and also we do our rock and roll poll question, which is in the corner. And on Friday, again, you guys surprised me. Not so much with the answers, but with the lopsided nature of your responses. Our question from Friday: should the government prosecutors continue to try cases related to alleged steroid use in Major League Baseball, like the one involving Roger Clemens? And a resounding 73% of you said no. A little surprised by how overwhelming that was. Only 27% of you said yes. Doesn't matter anyhow, because Roger skated. Yeah, they may get him again, though. I don't think they got him for double jeopardy, so he may have another trial. But we'll see. Maybe with this growing sentiment, the government picks up on stuff like this, and maybe if they realize they can win the battle and lose the war, maybe they back off and Roger gets away with it, because he was doing steroids, folks. All right, today's rock and roll poll question: which network evening newscast do you watch? You got your ABC Evening News with Diane Sawyer. You've got your CBS News with Scott Pelley, who just took over for Katie Couric. You got the NBC Evening News with Brian Williams. Or D, I don't watch a network evening newscast. Answer in the corner. We'll give you the results tomorrow here on the Daily Dose, JCOntheline.com. All right. So we're starting something a little different here today on the Big 550 KTRS. Trish is back from vacation. That's good. And we have the carousel of co-hosts in the 1 o'clock hour every day, but we never have any on Monday. So today we are starting the Al Hrabosky Show. That's right. Al from Fox Sports Midwest, great baseball analyst and just crazy, and we love him for that. So Al is going to talk baseball, and we'll be taking phone calls and answering your texts and all that sort of stuff. So be listening around 1 o'clock today and every Monday on the Big 550 KTRS, and we'll see what Al has to say. That'll be very exciting. We're looking forward to all of that. So Casey Anthony gets out of jail over the weekend, and they said that she got in an SUV and then got on a plane and went straight to Ohio. So our wishes did come true. Casey did go to hell after all. Jennifer Lopez and Mark Anthony. Well, the marriage was a surprise, because people are looking at him going, what? This little scrawny guy? And then Jennifer Lopez got a little meat on her bones. The whole thing just seemed odd. Well, the second shocker is that they're getting a divorce. And I don't know. Maybe it's because she looks like J-Lo and he looks like a Puerto Rican Steve Buscemi. But that one's over and done with. And Cincinnati Bengals running back Cedric Benson was arrested in Texas for assaulting a family member. This is the first time a Bengals player has actually hit anyone since the 2009 season. Speaking of sports, Tiger Woods' ex, Elin Nordegren, has a new boyfriend. And she knows how to pick him too. Because, believe it or not, this guy used to boink Rachel Uchitel, who was one of Tiger Woods' skanks. You gotta be kidding me. His name is Jamie Dingman. He's an investor. His father is a billionaire. This gets into this whole thing where it just turns out to be this giant orgy of money and pro athletics and pro athletes and women and varying degrees of skankiness. And what the hell is going on? You know, everybody, this is sort of like the thing where Sandra Bullock and Jesse James broke up, and it's sort of like you have to ask yourself at some point, should her feet be held to the fire? How can you not know that your husband's got Nazi gear all over the house? And in this particular case, now I'm starting to wonder about this Elin Nordegren. Yeah, she looks really pretty and she's blonde, and that's really nice. But maybe something was up there after all. She ends up dating a guy who used to boink one of the... And before that, this guy had a relationship with Bridget Moynihan, who had the baby of Tom Brady of the New England Patriots. God! Okay, that's... All right, Howie Mandel working on a new reality show where celebrities would perform stand-up. No, Howie, no. Harry Potter over the weekend, $169 million. I think it's safe to say that movie is a hit. All right, so last night you had U2 down at the stadium, and I've seen him a couple of times. Enjoyed the shows, liked the music, not a fanatic. When people who were interviewed in the crowd yesterday outside Busch Stadium at like 6 in the morning saying it's like a religious experience. Okay, I'm not buying that. But I didn't go, but everybody I'm hearing talking about it says that it was quite an impressive show. I think that it's wildly pretentious with that giant claw and all that nonsense with they got to put in a floor. I know maybe I'm turning into my grandfather, but that just seems ridiculously over the top. Lower the price of the concert ticket and don't go with all that sort of stuff, and then maybe you got something. But anyhow, the boys, and when I say the boys, I mean the Bono and the Edge. Bono and the Edge are going to be on David Letterman tonight, so maybe they have an opportunity for a St. Louis shout-out. Let's see how that goes. They're still trying to polish that turd, that Spider-Man Broadway show. That's what they're going to be on, trying to push tonight. By the way, the band didn't go on until 9:15 last night. Some of those people were in line 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning yesterday. The concert doesn't wrap up until, the wee hours in the morning, and you're just sort of sitting there going, yikes. All right, like I said, maybe I'm turning into my grandfather, but that's that. Speaking of concerts, Cheap Trick over the weekend were performing at a music festival in Ontario, Canada, and like one of those giant storms, one of those big gusty wind things comes through, and the stage just collapses. There were a bunch of people hurt. I guess everybody in the band is okay, but you got a man in serious condition, other people hospitalized, other people injured, that sort of stuff. You're having a bad weekend when your stage collapses from underneath you. It was on this date in 1988 that a California appeals court dismissed that ridiculous case against Ozzy Osbourne and CBS Records. Some poor kid is listening to Suicide Solution by Ozzy Osbourne, and then he kills himself. And they try to make the record company and Ozzy Osbourne accountable. That thing got thrown out in 1988 on this day. All right, birthdays today from Forgetting Sarah Marshall, little blonde hottie Kristen Bell is 31. Steve Forbes, who gets bored every once in a while and, decides to run for president. He's 64 today. Joe Torre, who played a little baseball here and then managed your St. Louis Cardinals for a while, is 71 years old today. And John Glenn. It's one thing when they go to Alan Shepard and Gus Grissom and they go, all right, we're going to shoot you up and you're going to go up in outer space and then you come right back down. We're going to catch you in the water and everything's going to be fine. And first one went okay. Second one, had a little trouble with the splashdown. We lost the capsule. But this time, John, we're going to do something a little more complicated. We're going to send you up, and you're going to go around a couple of times, around the Earth a couple of times, and then we're going to try to suck you back into the Earth's atmosphere and plop you down to the ocean. You got to be half nuts to let them put you in a capsule and do that. And John Glenn was, but it all turned out okay. And John Glenn, kudos to that guy. The Right Stuff, great movie too. 90 years old today for John Glenn. I played 2 baseball games over the weekend. Saturday, didn't play much. Yesterday morning, pitched a 7-inning ball game. About the 4th inning, I started to notice it was really hot. And again, we're going to have a situation here where, like I said, I had a little problem with the El Monstero show down at Jefferson Barracks last week. Just, didn't have enough to eat. Went into the beginning stages of dehydration, went loopy there for a couple of minutes, so just learn from that. And don't mess around with this. When it gets to be like 102, 103, like they say it's going to be for the next couple of days, you really do have to sort of watch what you're doing. I'm doing this in the shade. You didn't catch me dead in the sun today. Luckily, we have no baseball games. So just watch out. Take it easy. And again, this goes back to that summer of 1999, the last time I worked at the Big 550 KTRS. I was only there for the summer. Things just didn't work out. And I just remember 2 things about that summer. Number one, everybody was just crazy and nervous about that whole Y2K thing, because we only had about 5-6 months before the end of the millennium, and people were afraid, if you'll recall, that the computers were just going to start going nuts and the power grid was going to go out and ATMs were just going to start spitting $1,000 bills out onto the curb. And of course none of that happened. They got a lot of computers taken care of. But the other thing I remember about the summer of '99 was the heat. You could turn on your faucet and excuse me, something in my throat, don't anything to drink. But you could turn on your faucet, which is what I wish I could do right now, have a glass of water. That's the last one. Mind control. And the water would come out warm, even if you had it on cold. It was ridiculous. A lot of stuff floating in the stagnant air, too. This is going to be a rough week for everybody. Anyhow, Cardinals are in New York. And of all the things that sort of happen in the offshoot, this better stop. I have to start over. And all things. I'm not stopping to do this over. The Metzer Pond Scum, we started that in 1986, and it really took off in 87 with the flyover at Busch Stadium. And it made it all sorts of places like Late Show with David Letterman on NBC at the time, and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and I'm with Keith Olbermann and all sorts of stuff. But the one I got today in my eye candy is that's the biggest puzzler of all, because I don't know how it happened. I honestly, I have no idea how it happened. Somebody sent it to me and I could hardly believe my eyes. Because back in 2001, the comic strip Blondie in the back of your paper did a whole Metzer Pond Scum thing. It's right there. Look at. I mean, they use my name and everything. I'm just astonished. So this goes back to 2001 as the Cardinals get ready to kick some ass in the Big Apple, we hope. And again, a reminder that Al Roboski joins us now every Mondays at 1 o'clock, every Monday at 1 o'clock for an hour on the Big 550 KTRS Al Roboski Show. And we thank the gang from Fox Sports Midwest for letting Al off his leash to come and do the show with us. All right, there you go. Should the government prosecutors continue to prosecute cases in the steroid issue like Roger Clemens? 73% of you said no. Our rock and roll poll question today: which network evening newscast do you watch? ABC, CBS, NBC, or I don't watch a network newscast? Please answer in the corner. We'll give you the results tomorrow. All right, that's it. JC's Daily Dose for Monday, July 18th, 2011. I got through it, folks. A combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.